Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make that shawl that you saw in the picture. So here it is. It's really easy to do, but it's very pretty. It's kind of big, so can't get it all in my camera here. It's a very easy 2-row repeat, and it does have fringe on it, which is optional. You can leave the fringe off if you'd like. So the one that you see here and the one you saw in the photo, it's quite large. It measures about 76 from one point on the top here all the way to the other, and that is not counting the fringe. The fringe is about 4 inches on each side. So 76 not counting the fringe, and from the top center here all the way down to the bottom point, not counting the fringe down here, it measures about 35 inches. So I think it's super pretty. You guys want to see what yarn I use and want to go ahead and get started on it? Like I said, it's real easy. We'll go ahead and do it. So the yarn I use is some yarn that I got from Hirschner's, and it is the Merino Gradient Mill Ends. It's an acrylic merino blend. There's 568 yards of, approximately per ball, and one whole ball did the shawl, and then about another half a ball for the fringe. So, and it is a 3-weight yarn. So you don't have to use this yarn. Any 3-weight yarn will work. Any 2-weight yarn will work. Any 1-weight yarn will work. Even a 4-weight yarn will work. But yeah, this is just what I use. So if you want to do it the size I did, using a 3-weight with the fringe, you're going to need about 800 yards of a 3-weight yarn to make it like that. And then for the 3-weight, I used a size I, which is a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. And if you're going to be using a smaller weight yarn, if you want a nice drape on it, use like a full hook size or a hook and a half size bigger than what the yarn recommends. That way you'll have a nice drape on your shawl. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Like I said, it's very easy. It's just a 2-row repeat. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off with a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to work a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch back into the first stitch to form a ring, a small ring there. And we are going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and we're going to go back through the ring, and we're going to work 5 double crochets through the center of that ring. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochets. Pull that tail tight. So that ends row 1, and you got 5 double crochets. Now we're going to start row 2. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn our work. So that chain 4 counts as a triple crochet here and for the rest of the pattern. So we're going to go right back into this very first stitch, and we're going to work a triple crochet. So counting that chain 4, you got 2 triple crochets into that very first stitch. Now what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1 and triple crochet into the next stitch. Just like that. And then we're going to chain 1, and then the next stitch is actually the center stitch of the group of 5 from the previous row. And in that stitch, we are going to work 7 triple crochets all into that center stitch from the previous row. 7 triples. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, And there's 7 triples. Now we just need to make this side match this side. So we're going to chain 1 and triple crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to chain 1 again, and we're going to put 2 triple crochets into our very last stitch here. So there's 1, and then back into the same one. Oops. Is 2. So that'll end row 2. So that's kind of what it looks like. Now we're going to start row 3. So rows 3 and 4 are the repeat rows for the whole pattern. So it's pretty easy. We're going to start row 3 by chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to turn our work. We're going to go right back into that same stitch there and put a triple crochet. So counting that chain 4, we have 2 triples into that very first stitch. Now what we're going to do is chain 1, and we're going to double crochet into the next stitch. And that is going to be the repeat all the way till we get to the other side. We're going to chain 1, double crochet into the top of the next stitch. Chain 1, double crochet into the top of the next stitch. Chain 1, double into the next. Chain 1, double into the next. So we're going to do this until we get to the last stitch of our row. Alright, when you make it to the last stitch, make sure you chain 1 after that double crochet. It's this chain 4 here on the end, and we're going to put 2 triple crochets into that last stitch. So there's 1 triple, and there's 2 triples. So that ends row 3, which is one of our repeat rows. Now we're going to start row 4, which is the final repeat row. We are going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, turn our work, and we're going to go right back into the same stitch and triple crochet. So counting that chain 4, we have 2 triples into the same very first stitch. What we need to do though is we do have to find our middle stitch. So sometimes a middle stitch for our point of our shawl. So sometimes a stitch marker will help people find a middle stitch. So if you just count back on row 3, your stitches, you'll be able to find your middle one. Here's my middle stitch. And if it helps, you can put a stitch marker in that middle stitch, because you'll have to do that every time you repeat this row. Every time you repeat row 4, you'll have to find your middle stitch. So a stitch marker would probably help you do that. But all you do is you'll have an odd number of double crochets on row 3 here that we just did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You'll always have an odd number. Every time it'll be more. So I know my middle stitch is right here. All right. Okay. So once you find your middle stitch, remember you're going to have to do that every time you repeat row 4. We put our chain 4, put our triple crochet into the very first stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 and a triple crochet into the next stitch. And we're going to do this, chain 1, triple crochet into the next, until we get to that middle stitch of our row. Chain 1, triple crochet into the next, chain 1, triple crochet into the next, chain 1, triple into the next, chain 1, triple into the next. So the next one is my middle stitch. I want to make sure I chain 1, and I'm going to work 7 triple crochets into that middle stitch right here. So I'm going to go right into it and work 7 triples without putting a chain 1 in between them. Just 7 triples. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there is our 7. So that's the point of our shawl. Now we need to make this side to match this side, so we're just going to chain 1 and triple crochet into the next stitch, and we're going to repeat this until we get to the last stitch. Chain 1, triple into the next, chain 1, triple into the next, chain 1, triple, chain 1, triple, chain 1, triple, and I'm at my last stitch. I want to make sure I chain 1, and here this chain 4 here is our last stitch, so we're going to put 2 triple crochets into that last stitch. There's 1 and 2, and that ends row 4, and that ends the repeat. So it's just a repeat of rows 3 and 4. It's very easy once you get going, and it's going to work up really quick. So again, we're going to start row 5, which will be a repeat of row 3. So we would just chain 4, turn our work, triple crochet right back into the very first stitch. So remember, I'm just repeating row 3, and then we do the chain 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, double crochet into the next, and we do this all the way around until we get to our last stitch. Chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch. So I'm just repeating row 3. I'll meet back up with you when we get back here to the end. Alright, I'm coming to the end of row 5, which is the repeat of row 3. I'm just showing you how to do the repeats again. I chained, or did double crochet, chained 1, and I'm at my last stitch, so I'm going to put 2 triple crochets into my last stitch, triples. There's 1, and there's 2, and now in row 5, repeat of row 3. Now again, we're just for row 6, we're going to repeat row 4 because it's just a repeat of rows 3 and 4. But remember, you do have to find your center, so you just kind of count your double crochets back here until you find the center one. I just kind of match them up on each side. There's my center, and if you want to put a marker in that stitch to help you keep track, because remember, every time you repeat row 4, you're going to have to find that center stitch there. That way I know that's my center of my shawl. So we're going to start row 6, which is the repeat of row 4. Chain 4, turn our work, and triple crochet right back into that same spot. So we got 2 triples there, counting that chain 4, and we're going to chain 1 and triple crochet into the next, chain 1 and triple crochet into the next, and we're going to do this chain 1, triple crochet into the next until we get to our center point. chain 1, triple crochet into the next, chain 1, triple. So this is, like I said, it's a very easy shawl. Work up rather quickly with these tall triples, plus a lot of chain spaces, and it's quite an easy pattern to remember. So, but it has a very pretty outcome. So I'm just doing my chain 1, triple crochet until I get to my center point. Okay, I'm going to chain 1, and my next stitch is marked, so that is my center. Take that stitch marker out, and it gets 7 triple crochets into the center. Remember, I'm just repeating row 4. There is 7, and now we just need to make this side match this side by starting with a chain 1 and triple crocheting into the next. And we're going to repeat this, chain 1, triple crochet into the next until we get to the last stitch of our row. Alrighty. Coming up my last stitch here. I'm going to chain 1, and my last stitch I'm going to put 2 triple crochets into that last stitch. And that will end row 6, which is the repeat of row 4. There it is. And then you would just keep repeating rows 3 and 4, 3 and 4 until you get to your desired width. All right, so I went ahead and the shawl that I have a total of 36 rows. So if you want to add the fringe to it, you want to end on a row 3 repeat. If you don't, it looks fine just like this, or you could do a nice little shell border or whatever you want. But for the fringe, I'm going to go ahead and do another row, so I end on a row 3 repeat, and I'll show you how to attach the fringe in case you want to do that. Alright, to add the fringe, if you decide to do that, just take your yarn and make about probably 8-inch pieces. I kind of just maybe wrap it around my arm a little bit. Kind of like that. I guess that's bigger than 8 inches, but that's okay. We'll just make do with what we have here. All right, so you got this, and you want to make 8 to 10-inch pieces is fine, unless you want your fringe shorter. That's fine. You could do 6-inch pieces or 2-inch pieces or 4-inch pieces. Remember though, whatever you do, it's going to be put in half. So, and then you take a few. I'm going to take probably like 4. And we just, in each one of these chain spaces, take your yarn, pull them through like that to where there is this hole here at the top. Keep these kind of even if you can, and then just pull them through the loop like that. And then I'm going to grab 4 more strands. You can do more than 4 strands if you want. You can do less. It's completely up to you. You can do every other hole if you want. The fringing is up to you. But again, you just pull your hook through the space and pull them through, but not all the way to where you have a loop here. See that? And then you take these and you just pull them all through that loop and then pull it tight. And there is another fringe. And we can do this all the way down if you want, like I said. It'd be pretty the shell border too, and it'd be pretty just left plain. Again, you go to the next one and pull them through. And get them even down here as best as possible. And take these and pull them through like this. And the loop over. And pull it tight. So that is how you add the fringe in. After a while, it'll look like this. So I hope that you enjoyed my tutorial. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to, if you look in the description box, the very first link, there'll be a link of over 1,000 crochet tutorials. They're all free, all there for you to enjoy. So please, I hope that you find something else that you like and want to make. You can also come follow me on Facebook and Instagram, where you can show me all the stuff you've made from my tutorials, and I'd really love to see a picture. So until next time, have a good day. Bye guys.